you're onto something. You're cutting through a bunch of crap to help people in a very meaningful way. What's helped me do this is to make sure that I set a minimum each day, a minimum requirement
Mhm.
that for me, it's a mile. In order for this to count, I have to get a mile done. I can't negotiate myself out of it. So having this minimum level of entry that you can't convince yourself not to do it is so key.
Be careful about how you set these parameters or around your minimum requirement. Don't just make it a box that you
Mm-hmm.
need to check. Because I caught myself looking at my watch like, okay, stop playing now because I've been with you guys for an hour. Hello and welcome back to What is Your One Thing? Today, we have a truly inspiring guest joining us. This is Mark Cumicek, also known as the Dream Dude. Mark is on a mission to help 100,000 people achieve and manifest their dreams. After spending over 14 years in a corporate career, he found himself feeling drained and unfulfilled. Despite outward appearances of success, in 2016, he made a bold decision to leave his job without a plan. Determined to rediscover his life purpose and create a more meaningful experience, inspired by Matthew Kelly's book, The Dream Manager, Mark reinvented himself and is now helping others do the same. Today, Mark will be sharing his incredible journey. Whether you're looking to rekindle your passion, find your purpose, or simply need a boost of encouragement, Mark's insights are surely going to resonate with you today. So please welcome Mark to the show. Welcome, Mark. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, Jordan. It's awesome to be here. Thank you. I really appreciate that introduction. That's awesome.
You're just such a positive, enlightening, upbeat person, and it's almost contagious. That's why I want to have you on today and talk about your journey.
That means a lot. It's all about dealing hope, and I try to live that out each and every day. Not perfect at it by any means, but try to show up that way and spread that good positive energy and encourage people. I think most people need a little bit of encouragement in their life, and if I can do nothing else, if I can deliver a dose of that here and there and help people along with their dreams, that's what I'm here. That's why I'm on this planet.
It definitely shows. So let's step away from helping other people. What are you doing to help yourself? So what's your one thing?
Sure. My one thing right now, I would say, the one that I really have adopted an identity around, is a person who runs every day. That's just the way it is. It's no longer negotiable. It's no longer a decision that needs to be made. I just run every day. And now I'm on day 473, which to a lot of people sounds like this huge running streak, which it is. But at the same time, if you go out there and search, there's people with thousands and thousands of days of running every day. So I'm just getting started. And this streak I don't plan on this thing ever ending.
470. Yeah. Besides waking up, I can't tell you that there's something that I've been that consistent at.
The key is, it's been, for me, adopting an identity as a person that's just what I do.
That's incredible. How do you think that has changed your perception? Has it changed anything besides your daily routine? What else has that one habit done for you in your daily life?
It's built my confidence to a different level, because you demonstrate to yourself that you can keep your promises to yourself, if that makes sense, which is huge. Mm-hmm. The discipline, the grit, everything that goes along with that, keep a promise to yourself, that does tremendous things. And just the endorphins from running, too. I mean, let's be honest. I've never had a run where I regretted doing it after. Literally. I can go back in all my 47 years. I don't remember ever running and getting back and being like, darn it, I wish I wouldn't have done that today. I've never regretted a run, because you always come back with a different thought, an idea, a higher level of energy, and just feeling overall a sense of, in a lot of cases, euphoria about what's ahead for the rest of the day.
So you're saying the runner's high is real. It's a real thing.
Oh, it's so real. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm addicted to it. It's a proud addiction I'm willing to share with your worldwide audience here, Jordan.
Yeah, worldwide audience of very, very few, but that's okay. It's just the beginning. Even as you say, you're going to continue to run. This is going to be a forever thing. So you could still call 473 days the beginning, but same thing with this podcast, this show. And the whole point of it, again, is in this personal development arena. You kind of put it really nicely in a comment that it can be a little bit overwhelming. So to kind of focus on one thing is empowering, uplifting, and it's almost something satisfying about it, where you don't have to berate yourself with, did I do my gratitude journal? Did I meditate today? I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. It was 5:10, so now I got to beat myself up because I'm not in the 5 a.m. club.
Right.
There's so many things in this personal development arena, and I love how you said that, because it kind of feels like when people talk about self-help and personal development, they think it's a lot of woo-woo, just, hey, upbeat. But you're right, it can be kind of an arena. It can be a little bit cutthroat even if you're not on certain levels
Yes.
with people. So to really just take things back and take it one day at a time, or in a running analogy, take it one step at a time. One step.
Yes.
That's all you have to do. Again, that's where I'm in this journey too, where I felt burnt out trying to create a side business like everybody in 2024. One job's not enough. You need to have three or
Right.
four. Making sure I'm meditating. Am I writing in my journal? Am I going to the gym enough? And you just get burnt out. You have to be in the present. So one thing I struggle with is, again, living too much in the future. Be where your feet are. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Live in the present moment. Enjoy these little things like running, playing with my kids. And that's what I hope we can do with conversations like this.
Well, I want to comment on one thing you said first, and that's the idea of being present too. And I think that's another thing this whole running streak has helped me with as well, is when I'm out there, I'm just in that present moment, especially if I'm running trails as opposed to running on the street where it can be a little bit more, you can think about it, process a lot of things. When you're running on trails, you got to be paying attention to your footing and all that stuff, which really requires you to be extremely present. So that's been another reward of this particular one thing journey I've been on. But another one that I'm working on right now is, you hit on it earlier. It is a bit of daily meditation, and not to overwhelm myself, but I feel like it's interesting with the whole one thing mentality. The running thing has become a protocol where it's just who I am. It's what I do. It's easy, dare I say, to check that box every day. I've gotten myself to a position where I'm okay with biting off the next one thing, because that one's just become part of my identity. So just carving out about 10 minutes, 10 to 14 minutes every day. And if I have to divide that into 2 different sessions, that's cool. I try to be easy, make it as easy as possible to do it as consistently. I won't say I've done it every single day, but I'm pretty consistent, and I'm probably doing it 6 days a week right now, which has been really good. And sometimes my mind is roaring, and it's okay if I just sit and I try to slow it down, and I try to sit quietly for 10 minutes. That counts. That is meditation. That is mindfulness.
And I had a conversation with a coworker yesterday, and we were talking about traditional U.S. philosophies versus Buddhism. And I guess there's a saying, I didn't look this up, but where in the U.S. it's kind of, you need to not sit and get up and do something. And in Buddhism, it's stop doing something and go down and sit. So that kind of really...
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Just sit quietly. Put all devices away. Don't have anything around you. Just sit quietly. Meditation.
People try meditation. They feel like they're not doing it right because their mind's racing like crazy. They're doing their to-do list. They're going over their shopping list. They're going over everything that went wrong in the day. It's still a sit. It may not have felt very productive to you, but it just, over time, you're going to find what works best. And there's so many different ways to do it. In my own meditation journey, I went from that crowded monkey mind, thoughts racing through my head, trying to sit for 45 minutes, to manifestation meditations, which is a whole different thing.
Yes. Joe Dispenza.
Yeah, Joe Dispenza. Yeah,
Yes.
Phenomenal work. Really like his meditations. Many different avenues you can go down, but make sure you do it at your own time, at your own place. And if it's not the right time, that's okay. I know for my one thing at the moment that kind of fits along with what we're talking about is trying to find equanimity. So if you're not familiar with the term equanimity, it's mental calmness, especially under stressful situations. I have a hard time with overreacting. So that's been a big one for me, is to consistently keep an even head, both in good times and bad. It's resonating so much with me to the point where I think that's going to be my next tattoo. That's my one thing that I'm going to try to focus on more, is being more mentally calm, especially when things are not going so well.
I have an image in my mind of, between that space between stimulus and response, like maximizing that opportunity and making sure you own that space and not reacting, but responding. That's what comes to mind.
That's beautiful. That's a good tag. I'm going to keep that, and this is going to be the end for the floor, so we're not going to hold you up for too long today, and I'm not sure if you got your run in. I don't want to be the case.
There are days where I do this multiple times.
Where you break your streak.
Truth be told.
But I want to open up the floor. Is there anything you want listeners to know more about you, what you do, how you help people? The floor is yours, and go ahead.
You hit it pretty well in the introduction, Jordan. My mission is to help 100,000 people dream again more or bigger, and then really activate those dreams, because we have a lot of people who give up the habit of dreaming. When we're children, we tend to dream without limits. As we become quote unquote responsible adults, it's something we don't make time and space for. And we need to change that, because when we chase our dreams, that's the path to living most fully alive. We don't always get to those dreams, but that journey absolutely transforms us into something special. So treat your dreams as the compass that they are. That's my biggest message for you. I do from time to time have free dream challenges available. We have one starting tomorrow. By the time this episode's out, people won't necessarily see that. But if this comes out a few days after, we usually have late enrollment. Okay. So if anyone's interested, they can click through and still join, and we can get them set up.
We'll be close, so I apologize if you hear it late and you're not able to get it in, but hopefully Mark runs another one. Back to dreaming. I have 2 young daughters, and my 6-year-old is obsessed with treasure hunting. She wants to be a treasure hunter, and man, wouldn't that be just such a cool job to go do? So I'm going to let that flourish, and she can take it wherever she wants. But Mark, this has been awesome. Again, super inspirational person to follow. Where's the best place where people can follow you to kind of keep up with your journey and things that you're doing?
Yeah, the best spot is going to be on LinkedIn. That's where I'm most active, and you can get to know me a little bit, get to know how I think about things, how I go about things, how I position my coaching. That's really the best way to know what I'm up to, what a dream manager does, and why I'm on this mission. So follow me on LinkedIn.
All right. Yes, definitely. I will second that. Thank you for joining us today. And remember to keep searching or finding your one thing that makes you happy, brings a little smile to your face or others, or as I say, puts a little pep in your step. All right. Take care, and we'll talk soon. All right. Well, Mark, that was awesome. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea.
Of course, man. I'm happy to be part of this. You're onto something. You're cutting through a bunch of crap to help people in a very meaningful way. And I just want to give you one other thing that has helped me with my one thing, because you might be able to use it as a topic for one of your other monologue type shows. What's helped me do this is to make sure that I set a minimum each day, a minimum requirement, that something I can't bargain my way out of. So for me, it's a mile. In order for this to count, I have to get a mile done. I can't bargain my way out of that, because even if I wake up at 11:15, I'm like, shit, I didn't run today. It's going to take me 6.5 to 10 minutes. You know what? I could do that. I can't negotiate myself out of it. So having like this minimum level of entry that you can't convince yourself not to do it is so key. Most days I run well more than a mile, but there have been days where I just hit the minimum, and that gets me out the door. Even on the days I don't want to do it, just go run a freaking mile.
Mark, has anybody ever told you you're good at sound bites? Because that's actually just going to go back into the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We actually stopped recording, but now this is absolutely going back in. So I need to set not only for the podcast, but just anyone out there trying to do their one thing, setting that minimum requirement that you can't bargain with. Am I getting that right?
You can't bargain with.
Okay.
Stupid, easy, simple. I mean, this goes back to some of the stuff in Tiny Habits and Atomic Habits and all that stuff as well. They use different terms for it, but that has been the absolute key for me.
You know what they say about frequency? You have to hear some things 20 times before it sinks in. So the person that's going to be watching this has definitely read those books. They've read Atomic Habits. They've listened to the podcasts, and I can't tell you how many times I've heard the same thing over and over, but on that 50th time it finally clicks. And you just need somebody that's eloquent with words to say it.
I had to find it based on experience, because I've heard that so many times. But just going through it, I'm like, that is the key. Because even on the hardest day, I'm like, okay, I'll give you another example. I broke my toe, my little toe on my right foot on Memorial Day, but I still ran a mile. I was for like 3 or 4 days where it was painful, but I did it. And my son caught me out there cobbling around.
My brain's already thinking about how can I set these, even as simple as I spend more quality time with my kids. So when I had my obsession with my journaling, one of them was you will spend a quality time with the girls, and it's at least an hour. But then I put it in a box. So be careful about how you set these parameters or around your minimum requirement. Don't just make it a box that you need to check. Because I caught myself midway through a week doing, kept looking at my watch. I can stop playing now because I've been with you guys for an hour. So just be careful on how you arrange your non-negotiables or that minimum requirement. So now it's just spend quality time with the girls. That still is a non-negotiable. Like, I know the difference between quality and not quality and forcing it to check a box. All right. There's just so much goodness in this.
In your case, some days it might be a good quality 2 minutes, and other days it might be a good quality 2 hours.
Oh,
Both
God.
count.
They do.
Right?
They do. What I'm realizing with this show is it's going to be this time capsule. Forget where it goes, if it goes anywhere, or if it only reaches 10 people, 100 people. That doesn't matter, because what I enjoy and love thinking about is that my daughters are going to be able to go back and listen. Like, what did my dad think about when he
Yes.
was 30 years old?
Right.
My oldest have some of her in with my episodes. So if you go back and listen to one, she's talking about, hey, can we play Robot Zombie? And then she's giggling at the end of another
Yes.
episode. So I get to throw in these cute little things that, hey, when they're 13, 16, 20, however old, they can go back and say, like, this is what you wanted to do when you were 6 years old. This is how you talk. This is how we interacted.
Yes.
God, I get so excited about those things.
That's cool. I like the time capsule approach. And I did.
All right, Mark. Well, this has been awesome. I hope we stay
Good
connected,
stuff.
and
Of course we will.
you need to get me out on a trail and do some running.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Okay, I know I've said goodbye 15 times already, but this has been
Me too.
this has
All
been
right.
awesome.
When this is out, just shoot me a
Okay.
text so that I can make sure I get it out on LinkedIn and Instagram and a couple other
Yeah,
places.
all the places, because I'm terrible at self-promotion, so that's only going to benefit. All right, take care, and we'll talk soon. Simone and Indy, what is something you would like to tell your 13-year-old self?
When I turn 14, I want to go to Monkey Joe's for my birthday.
Okay.
I want to make it bars.
You want to do monkey bars?
Yeah, make it bars.
Okay, that's pretty good.